Good morning, metalheads of the internet, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Metal Meltdown. Today we are talking about the latest studio album from Dream Theater entitled Parasomnia. This is the 16th full-length studio album from these icons, pioneers, legends, poster boys of progressive metal. They've toured the world, they've sold millions of records, they've won Grammy Awards. And to be honest, up until extremely recently, I've never given a crap about them. This might not be brand new information to some of you, to the Metal Meltdown diehards, yeah. Not a fan. Well, again, until extremely recently, and even then, not really. I should explain. Listen, for a long time, Dream Theater really was my number one most hated metal band. I thought that they were pretentious. I thought their music was overrated and overhyped. And I just felt there was a lot of just better progressive metal stuff out there. Like, I was like, why would I choose this over Mastodon or Between the Buried and Me or Intronaut or Opeth, you know? Like, that was kind of my attitude. Why settle? I don't care if this came first. I don't enjoy it. I don't fuck with it. It's just that simple. But, that said, my opinion of Dream Theater has changed as I have grown older, as I have evolved and matured as a human being, as a lover of metal and music. And, okay, I still think they're a little pretentious and overhyped and overrated. But, I can at least now appreciate, like, what makes them important. Like, I did a Dream Theater discography deep dive starting in like late December going into early January, and I plowed through all 15 of their other records, and I didn't really enjoy a good chunk of that. But, you know what? The 90s material really resonated with me. You know, like when Day and Dream Unite, underrated album, honestly. Images and Words, Metropolis Part 2, there's some good stuff there. You know, and you know, there's little nuggets of greatness all throughout the 2000s material as well. It really is, like, kind of just before Mike Portnoy leaves, that's when things get stale, you know? Dream Theater kind of carve themselves into a rut, they stop doing new things, they stop trying, and they become the Dream Theater that I know Dream Theater, that I recognize Dream Theater as being. Yeah. Does this make sense? I hope it does. Look, the point is, I simply don't have that hatred for Dream Theater overall right now that I had for them 5 or 10 years ago, and I've come to respect and even enjoy certain parts of their discography. But that doesn't erase the fact that I've talked a lot of mad shit, particularly about this modern age of Dream Theater, and for that reason, I think a lot of people are expecting me to rip Parasomnia a brand new asshole. Damn straight, Mr. Meltdown! Hell, we even made bingo cards! But, as I did with every Dream Theater album in preparation for that aforementioned Dream Theater discography deep dive, I went into this album with as open a mind and heart as possible. And you know what? I genuinely, truly, Scout's honor, straight up, I genuinely like this album. But you didn't have that on your fucking bingo card now, did ya? Did you write down that he likes it? Ha! Joke's on you! Chompy actually did! Suck it, poser! Is it a mystical, magical, mighty metal masterpiece for the ages? No. Will it make all the little prog metal nerds cream their fucking pants? Yes. But fuck them, they're biased. They were gonna cream their pants no matter fucking what. Who fucking cares? It's not gonna change the fucking world. But it's fun. Okay? Dream Theater kinda got their shit together. A little bit. On this bad boy. Mike Portnoy, back on the drums, sounding great, clearly lighting a fire under these fucking guys' asses as well, because honestly, everyone else sounding pretty great too. I even like the concept of the album, dealing with parasomnia, dealing with sleeping disorders, and the experiences of like having a dream or a really vivid, powerful nightmare. It's colorful, it's elegant, it's dynamic, it's well-produced and engaging, and even though it's 71 minutes long, it flows pretty well. It's got a nice feel. I genuinely kinda like this record. You've got the opening number, In the Arms of Morpheus, a fun, vibrant, colorful, cosmic, and eclectic instrumental prog metal dazzler, filled with soaring synths and keys, shredding guitars, sharp riffs, some ambient moments sandwiched in between the more hectic and eclectic moments. I feel like I'm walking through a drug-induced magical dream landscape. I dig it. I fuck with it. Kind of reminds me of like liquid tension experiments in certain points here and there. Transitions quite nicely into the following cut, Night Terror, which was also the lead single from this album. I enjoyed it when I heard it as a single. I'm still enjoying it now. It's vintage mid to late 90s Dream Theater stuff. Peak era Dream Theater, as some would say. There are some great syncopated licks and harmonies at certain points in this cut. Feels very old school prog rock, especially with that more jagged rhythm. It reminds me of Genesis to an extent, or even Gentle Giant. Some nice tasty grooves and rhythmic bursts and a few different switches as well, all through. Keeps you on the edge of your seat. James LaBrie sounding pretty good vocally here. I can't even lie. Actually, straight up, might be the best he's sounded in a while, particularly on this cut. I think he nails it. Then there's A Broken Man, which has a slightly more vicious and volatile charge to it, rushing out the gates like an angry bull, with some heavy, chunky prog metal riffage, some nasty percussion. That actually lays down a decent foundation for some more epic, heavenly kind of elements, more orchestral vocals, some synths and strings and shit like that. And the result kind of brings to mind like Epic Cloud from Devin Townsend, you know, like that kind of new agey prog metal style stuff. Genuinely really vibing with the funky, jazzy twist in the latter half of this song as well. It kind of makes me want to see Dream Theater just do a full-blown jazz album. That could actually be kind of cool, I'm not gonna fucking lie. Bend the Clock is pretty interesting too. I like this take on like a prog metal power ballad of sorts. I especially like its very quiet and contemplative moments, which weirdly remind me of like Mind Burns Alive or Heartless from Pallbearer. And though the closing number, the Shadow Man incident, did not need to be 20 minutes long, goddamn, I concede it is packed with some tasty little prog metal nuggets all the way through. I'm not gonna lie, I did kind of tap out and even roll my eyes just a little bit at Midnight Messiah. It reminds me too much of Train of Thought for its own good, with its more simplistic heavy metal chugging riffs and its like moodier, darker, edgier kind of tone and feel. But hey, I've spoken to a shitload of people who love Train of Thought, so if you happen to be one of those people, congrats, this won't bother you at all. You're good, you're set. And hey, you know what? 7 out of 8 is a pretty good fucking score. Like, I genuinely enjoyed 7 out of 8 songs on a fucking Dream Theater record. This would be impossible to imagine a few fucking years ago. Is it still fair to say that Dream Theater are playing things pretty safe in certain points of this record? Honestly, yeah. There's nothing happening on this record that you haven't already heard on another Dream Theater record, and anybody arguing otherwise has very simply not been paying attention to Dream Theater. And is it also fair to say that sometimes the music is a little bit more sizzle than steak? Yeah, honestly. Also fair. But like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just better now. It just works better now. And I don't think it's just because of Mike Portnoy. I don't think it's because I've been beaten into submission by doing the reviewing every Dream Theater album video. I think they just genuinely kinda made it all work. The planets fucking aligned here, and they're having fun, and they wrote some cool fucking songs. And that's that. I am genuinely, unironically going to give this album a 3.5 out of 5. I am genuinely, unironically going to tell you that I think this is Dream Theater's best album in a long time. Their best album in nearly 15, or dare I even argue, 20 years. I enjoyed this way more than The Astonishing, the self-titled album, Systematic Chaos, Black Clouds and Silver Linings, A View from the Top of the World. This, in my opinion, kicks the crap out of all those fucking records. It's not drastically different in terms of style, but it just sounds better. It just feels better. It's more inspired. The songs are more interesting and more engaging. If you love Dream Theater, if you're a longtime diehard fan, you're gonna love this album. End of story. If you're unfamiliar with the band, this could actually make a pretty decent entry point. I would personally recommend Images and Words or When Day and Dream Unite instead, first. But hey, more power to you. It's all good. You can certainly fucking do worse. For the love of God, don't start with the astonishing. So, yeah, Parasomnia. Fuck it. I fuck with it, I guess. I don't hate it. I thought I was going to. I was prepared to. But I simply don't. That's it, I guess. And that is it for the Metal Meltdown. I am not an expert, nor do I claim to be. So what do you think? Do you like this record? Do you not like this record? And what do you want to hear from me next? And thank you for watching. Make sure you press subscribe right here. Boom! Reviewing every Dream Theater album. Boom! Something else. I don't fucking know. And as always, you have yourself a fantastic fucking day.